Hi, this is Sarah, the Stitchin mommy, and Smokey, and I'm here for my weekly cross-stitching update. It's August 1st, 2022, and did a decent amount this week. I'm very excited about progress on one of my projects. Hi. And I have plans for Arbitrary August, so let's jump in. First, real quick, she's gonna sleep next to me. There she is. Hi, kitty. Hi. Yeah. Happy Smokey. All right. Let's get going with the cross stitching because that's why you're here. All right, so I finished my whip goals, and this coming month in August, I got 2 bingos for June, but if I finish everything in August, I'll have 2 more bingos. So that's fun. I don't have any rewards for myself for hitting a bingo. It's just fun to see them getting crossed out. So yeah, it is what it is. Some people reward themselves. I don't really care. All right, first travel stitching project I have is my Wander With Me. This is my temperature piece I'm doing for this year. It's also a Walk With Me that's more dog themed. As you can see with my kitty cat, I like cats. So I'm doing the cat one. And here's where it's at now. This is on 27 count Linda, 1/1 full cross, and I did 2 more little warm paws over here. They're not hot, but kind of, they'll be hot for anywhere else. Surely they're in the 90s, but for here it's not scorching. It's just kind of even keel hot. Right now though, yesterday and today has been pretty humid, which is not usual for here. So it's been kind of miserable where you're, even in air conditioning, it's still kind of yucky feeling. So I feel for people in humid places because it is not fun. Let's see. Did I do anything on my butterflies? I think I did a tiny bit. I'm doing temperature butterflies for the year 2002. It's the mock-up of that one. All these temperature designs and several more are in my Etsy shop. No, don't eat the cardboard. She is over here now helping. Here is this one. This is my temperature butterflies, 32 count 1/1 on this mystery gray green even weave. And I think I may have done 1 more block. I don't actually remember. I think I took this to the park, but I was visiting with a friend at the same time, so I don't think I did a lot. I think I might have done something though, so I guess we'll see when we see the side by side. School starts next week, so I should get a little bit more travel stitching coming back in pretty soon here. And that's all for that bag. I did a little bit on Under the Sea Club, which is by the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery, and they also came out with a new part. So this is where this is at. This is their year-long stitch-along. It's a mystery stitch-along, so they only release a little bit every month. So this month they released the pufferfish, this diver up here, these little fish, and this school of tiny fish. So I was still working on this section of these little animals, and all but these bubbles, I got all these little animals finished, so that's fun. here is this now. This is on 25 count, 1/1 full cross, like this medium blue, even weave, and finished off these little critters. And I think someone mentioned to me, I think these are actually jellyfish. I was calling them octopuses. I don't know. They're kind of so cartoony, it's hard to tell, but I think they're probably jellyfish. That makes more sense. So, and the little seahorses and the little fishes. So that section, there's some bubbles for the seahorses right here that I didn't do yet. And the words at the bottom, I haven't done that yet either, but I'm plugging along. Get about an hour a week on this. So it isn't quite enough to get this, to keep it caught up, but I'm not getting super far behind. So at some point I'll do a little bit more if I have a chance, but at this point it's fine. I guess I'll show this now because it wasn't really part of my plans. I also worked on the Drawn Thread Sampler of Stitches just a little bit because I felt bad with, I have my daily 30 like year-long challenge pieces for their Animal Adventure Challenge, and you're supposed to pick 3 pieces and work on all 3 pieces at least for 100 stitches every month. You can do more than that, but they want you to do at least 100 on each piece. And I was just gonna be like, nope, not doing it in July, I don't care. But as the month got to end, I'm like, I kind of care. I mean, worst thing they could do, they kick me out of the challenge and I just go on my merry way. I could do it for fun if I wanted to. It doesn't really matter, but I kind of felt like I should do it. So I don't know. I went ahead and gave this 1 hour and finished the M section. I'm quite a bit behind on this now because I was supposed to be doing a letter every 2 weeks and now I didn't work on it for like a month. So I'm behind. I should be, I don't know where I should be, but next month, or this month now, it's August already. This month I hope to work on this every Sunday for my main stitching time every Sunday. So hopefully this will, I'll get closer to caught up again by the end of the month. This one is on the called for 30 count custard cream linen and called for MPI silks. Most of it's 1 strand unless it tells you to. So this is, I guess, how far it was. It is now. And another diagonal wonky stitch in that M that is frustrating to me. On this floppy linen, it does not work. So, oh well. I will live with it. I love the rest of the stitches though. Those ones that are on the diagonal exclusively, there's really no way to fix it. So it just warps the fabric and that's okay. This one is also rather messy, but I don't know. I couldn't figure out a way to do it any better. So there it is. So on Sunday, I will hopefully come back in and start working on the N and keep plugging away at this one to get back to where I'm supposed to be. Let's see if I can figure that out. Let's see, what's P? Should have finished P. So N-O-P. So I have 3 more letters to do before I'm caught up. Because I'm like, next weekend I'm supposed to be working on the Q according to the original schedule. But working on it every week, I'm hoping I can get caught up a little bit. So let's see, what else did I do? Oh yeah, and I worked on Joyful Expressions, His Name is Jesus, with, where is this? I put some of my newer designs in here, so now they don't just fall open anymore to the ones that I usually show. So this is His Name is Jesus by Joyful Expressions. I'm stitching with Desiree, the Addicted Stitcher, and she put up another video recently, so that's exciting if you want to see what she's been up to. Here is this one. This is on 28 count, Ivory Lugana, I'm pretty sure. and this is 1/1 full cross in Victorian motto threads that I were from my stash. They're probably not that easy to find anymore. Garden Rose, Blue Sampler, and Golden Sandstone, I believe. So I finished out King of Kings this time. And Desiree and I discovered we are at the exact same spot in the design now. So we've been kind of tracking along our stitches to stay mostly around the same stitch count as we're progressing forward. She started with His Name is Jesus in the middle. I started up here, Prince of Peace. So we've been working in different places, but after our session this week, we have the exact same amount of words finished. So both of ours look exactly like this. Hers are different colors and stuff, but the finished stitched count is the same. It's pretty cool. So I'll put a picture in, a screenshot of us on our Zoom call. Not Zoom, but where we have both of us showing our stuff. So that's pretty fun. And let's see. All right, well, main projects. I started Magic of Christmas on Monday. That opened right to it. Woohoo! So this is a Heaven and Earth design by Nadia Strokina, and I think Desiree actually gifted this to me, so thank you. This is a large chart, 700 by 625, so I decided to do it on 40 count, 1/1 half stitches. And I decided to do linen this time. So this is on French lace Witchelt linen, and it works all right. There's some of the lighter colors are a little hard to see, but the darker colors are like a dream, a breeze. Hi, kitty. Yeah, it's hot up here, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Hi. So inviting. All right, she just was asking for pets there. All right, so here's this one where I got to. This is an icicle. It might be hard to tell, but I got 1,199 half stitches over the 3 days, so I'm very excited to have met my goal in the time I allotted for it, which is great. And this piece is, rather large, but I think it'll work really well because Witchelt linen is notoriously stiff. I think it'll work even better for half stitches because half stitch fabric or half stitch projects do better when the fabric or canvas has a life of its own and can kind of fight back. Since half stitches do like to warp a little bit, like we saw on the drawn thread piece. So that's exciting. I'll show you again. Not a whole lot to see yet, but it was fun working with those blues. This is up here in this corner with these icicles. So that was fun to kind of see something right away. And not very Christmassy, it's more wintry in that corner, but I got started, so that's good. And then my main piece, oh no, African Woman with Peonies. That was my next piece I worked on. This I worked on was my last Whip Go draw for July. I have 2 boards, full coverage and Fancy Lady, so this was my last full coverage Whip Go piece for July, and it's an artisy pattern. This is smaller, so this is not as daunting. I'm still doing a half stitch with this one though. And I was stitching on this with Colette, the Highway Stitcher, and Denise at Black Ribbon Stitch Studio. And here is where I got to. So this is 25 count Prim vintage cloth and 2/1 half stitches. So mostly fill in because at this point I was really gunning for getting my 1,000 stitch goal complete in 3 days instead of 4, so I could spend more time on my anniversary piece. So I opted to ignore the railroad, the typical typewriter method in favor of filling in more background. So there's there's some high stitches here that didn't get done because they were more confetti colors, and I chose to do more background instead. But I think it's fine. And I got my 1,220 stitches on this over 3 days, so that's great. And you'll see at an angle here, you can kind of see there is some of this light stitches here. These are new as well, but they practically blend into the fabric, so those are a little hard to stitch. So I was a little afraid. I think one of these might have been a similar situation, so I was like, I think I'll just do more dark background. It'll be easier to see. I can get a bunch of stitches in real quick. So that's what I did. So this one's fun. Hopefully you get a little bit more work done on this stuff pretty soon. But background is always good to get chipped away at. And then my bonus piece for every day except for Tuesday, I worked on this for at least 20 minutes. And then Sunday was all of my stitching time, and I got over 2.5 hours on it Sunday, which is great. So overall, 5 hours this week combined, and I made great progress. I'm super happy. So this is by the window in the morning, doing this for my anniversary piece, converting it to a nighttime scene, changing some of the colors, and it's getting so close to finished. So all right, so here is where this is now. This is an 18 count even weave. I believe it's called Devosa, like a beige color. I'm doing it with 2 strands over 1. And I'm so excited. It's getting close. I brought the back stitching down to be most of the couch. There's still some back stitching along the bottom edge that I couldn't do yet because there's some floorboard stitching that needs to come in, but I did these little bits first, and now I'm coming back through and doing the darker shade of the floorboards. I decided to do the floor colors, the same colors as the lightest 2 shades of her hair, because they were originally supposed to be the lighter 2 shades of this yellow. And since I changed the couch to be more normal, I wanted to change the floor to be more normal. And instead of having a yellow floor, I wanted it like a wood floor. So it'll look more wood grain than yellow. And it has lines backstitched in it to make it look like it's got paneling and stuff. So I think it'll be great. So all of the stitching is done down here except for the floorboard, the floor stitching, and it's not solid. And then backstitching. And then I'll add the quote and the personalization up at the top to make it a anniversary sampler. So I'm thinking, originally I was thinking maybe 8 by 10 up and down because I'll have the words on the top and the bottom. This is almost a square. It is slightly wider than tall, but I'm adding stuff to the top and the bottom. But then I thought maybe an 8 by 8 square frame would look the best. So I'm hoping maybe sometime this week I can go look for that and actually have it framed before the middle of next week, which is our 20th wedding anniversary. So that'll be great. Let's see. The plan is, it's Arbitrary August now, and that's a challenge rotation situation that I kind of came up with a few years ago, where you'd work on projects randomly throughout the month of August. So you could draw from a hat, use a decision wheel, have your kids decide, like have some way to make it random. Work through your projects. You can change them as often or as not often as you'd like. The first time I did it for every day. I changed a different project. So whether or not you have 31 projects, you can still put your things in a wheel and just pick something new every day, and you could repeat if you do it that way. If you only have one piece, I guess you couldn't do Arbitrary August because there's no randomness to that, but you would need at least a couple pieces for it to be somewhat random. You could do it little bits, like on the weekend you pick a random piece, or what have you. So I decided this year, because I'm still doing Whip Go and I don't want to get behind on those larger goals for Whip Go, I'm still going to do those projects Monday through Wednesday. But in August, there are 5 chunks of Monday through Wednesdays. So the first chunk here, I'm going to devote to By the Window. and get that finished. And I think I can do it because I'm very close. My only thing that may be different is I might finish it before Wednesday. That would be really nice. I don't know. I don't want to promise that I'll finish it before Wednesday because life happens and I may not get enough stitching time to accomplish that. But if I finish this early, I'll just draw another Arbitrary August project that you won't find out about until next week. So it'll be a surprise. But I will draw 3 now for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then I'll work on sampler stitches on Sunday. So every week I'll do 3 random projects. I decided to go with that one. That will give me at least 12 random projects. And I miss my projects. And I looked through the ones that I had not yet worked on this year that are not on my WIPGO board, and I have 26. So this won't even get half of that many, but it's a start, right? So I will draw the 3 now. I'll go get them, come back and share them with you. And if I have time for a 4th or even a 5th, doubt it, but I'll draw that on my own and I'll share it with you later. So let's see. So I made a tiny decisions wheel. It's gonna think. It needs to wake up, I guess. And I put in all of the projects that are not fancy ladies and are not full coverage. Therefore, they're not on my WIPGO boards. Because I know if they're on the WIPGO board, they're gonna get drawn at some point this year. So I will get progress on them at some point, even if it hasn't happened yet. There's a lot of projects that don't fall into either category and they've been neglected because I've been focusing on my like gift stitching when I'm not working on WIPGO pieces. So here we go. Let's work on some of these for at least 12 of these. Hopefully we'll get a little bit of attention. So I have it set to black out the ones that get called, so I shouldn't have any duplicates. I want 12 unique pieces. So this time I'm only picking 3, so I won't know going forward what they're going to be. And I could maybe pick them all at once because then I could plan my like Stitch into the Wild challenge groups a little bit better, but I'm going to not do that. I'm going to just do one set every week because I think it's more fun that way. And I will maybe leave some challenge prompts open to fill in later because possibly a future project that gets pulled will fit a prompt. So let's see what I'm gonna work on this week. Ooh, cross stitch fun. I love this one. I haven't worked on this in a little while. I'm working on this with Colette, the Highway Stitcher, Shelly, It's Only Stitching, and Kim, Cross Stitch Crazy, maybe on Instagram. There's a few others that might have jumped on, but I'm excited. So I'll go get that one. And I didn't bring a pencil, so I'll just have to remember. So let's do another one. And yeah, see, it blacked out that one, so I won't do that one again. Those Who Sing. I started this one with Colette too, since the theme. This was Colette's, Colette the Highway Stitcher, her birthday stitch from last year. She finished hers because she likes to do a birthday stitch with a birthday buddy and finish it in a year, and then they start a new one together. I started this with her because I had the pattern and I thought, oh, that's pretty, I'll start that too. And definitely didn't finish it in a year. So they've moved on to something else. I'm still working on mine, but that's exciting. I'll enjoy working on that one again. And Butterfly Cat, that's a fun one. My daughter will be happy to see that. This is one of many I have in this category that are basically full coverage with no background. So they don't count as full coverage in the Full Coverage Fanatics group. They don't count on my WIPGO board. They're from Heaven Nerd Designs or Artisy or what have you, but I have it's either a no background version or I'm physically taking personally taking the background out, as in this one. I think this one might be, well, it's in here, let's see. This one, they might have done it for me for this one. Nope, I did this one myself too. Although maybe not, I'll have to look in Pattern Keeper. This one might not actually have it charted, but if it is, I think it's just white, so I'm just not doing it. But this is that one, Butterfly Max Colors. So cute. By Kayomi Harai? Sorry. So there's that one. I will get the cover pictures and the starting points for you, and I'll be right back. All right, got my pieces. So since I just showed you Butterfly Cat, I will go ahead and show the starting point of that first. This is on 28 count Nessie by Picture This Plus. And it's pretty teal. It's a little bit tealier than it's showing, but I have a little star on the kitty's ear there. So this is a 1/1 full cross. I don't have any specific goals on these because I will only get 1 day on them, but any progress is progress. So it'll be fun to see what I can do on that one. I think I was doing the typewriter method, making sure I didn't lose my needle on this one as well. And I believe this is the highest point in the pattern. So that those top couple rows are finished. Woohoo! So funny. So, it's actually a decently big piece. So here's this one again. I got the tiny little bit of the ear, and I'm thinking it's probably no background charted that way. It was never included with the background, even though it doesn't say no background. It is the Max Colors version. So I'll probably keep going and just fill in more of the ear. That's probably what I'll do. Just to make it easier. I don't want to have to count really far to the wings quite yet, so just stay close. So, Cross Stitch Fun is by Kesslins. This was a market release last year, I think, and I don't follow market releases, but Shelly and Colette were starting this. I'm like, ooh, I like that. It's probably my only monochromatic piece, and I'm doing it very similar to this front one where it's kind of in greens, but I'm using Coastal Seaweed by Victorian Motto, which is slightly variegated, and Star Sapphire 18 count by Witchell, Jobelin, which is soft. And here's my starting point. And I really like how this is coming along because it's very soothing. Maybe it'll be a little better on here. So you can't see the green that well. It's greener in person, but it is pretty. So I will probably keep going on the top border. It'll be fun to eventually come down and do the motifs, but it looks like I'm at that in the middle already. So keep going, and then I'll probably try to fill in from the top down like I do. So at least one more length of thread on that would be nice. So this is again 28 count 1/1 full cross, just like the other one. And this other one is not that. I was thinking at first, I'm like, are they all 28 count over 1? But no, they're not. So this one is by the Drawn Thread, Those Who Sing. It's a very sweet piece. It's got those who wish to sing always find a song, with some birds in the trees and some houses and a house and a bench. And I converted mine to be various fancy flosses from my stash. So they're similar to what's called for, but mine. And I think they have I might have just used white for the house. They do have a DMC conversion for the house is white. So yeah, they have a silk conversion or a cotton conversion. So their silks are dinky dyes and needlepoint inks for the solids, and then fancy flosses are Gentle Arts and DMC for the 2 solids. So I don't remember what I did, but I'm probably just doing the house in DMC. So not anywhere near there, so it doesn't matter this time. But I probably wrote it down on the inside. This is 32 count Mushroom Slushy by Fabric Flare, and I'm doing it 2/2. This is a leftover strip from the piece that I got to do Nora Corbett's Trick or Treat Halloween fairy, and this little strip at the bottom was the perfect size for this long and skinny piece. So I have all the words done now, and I believe all those flowers are finished. So I think I can just get started in on the birds and the trees, so that'll be fun. We'll see what I do first, if I do birds or trees, or maybe a little bit of both. So that's the one that I'll do probably Tuesday. Or just kidding, these are in later. This is Friday. So Cross Stitch Fun will be Thursday, this will be Friday, and Butterfly Cat will be Saturday. I'll try to do them in the order they were called. And Sampler Stitches will be Sunday. So that's exciting. I like those draws. I thought when it was spinning the last one, I thought it should choose Those Who Sing, or not Those Who Sing. Time for Myself, because it's another one that I started with Colette. That would be really, really funny if all three of them were ones I started with her. Anyways, I think that's the only one left I have on that list. That's one that I started with her. But all right, that should be it for today, and I'm really excited to work on all of those and share with you next week how much I get done. So, Smokey's still sleeping. Yeah. Hi, am I disturbing your beauty sleep? Oh yeah. So, hi. Yeah. Oh yeah. Happy kitty. All right, with that, I will wish you a happy week and happy stitching. Bye.